Introduction. In the quiet corners of the world, far from bustling cities and media headlines, live unsung heroes, ordinary individuals whose actions speak volumes. These are people whose names you've never heard, yet they are silently changing the world. They plant trees, shelter endangered animals, clean polluted rivers, and restore broken ecosystems, all with nothing but their bare hands, unshakable hearts, and unwavering hope. This is not a documentary about governments, billionaires, or global organizations. This is a story rooted in the soil, watered by sweat, and grown through sheer determination. These are the hidden forest heroes, individuals who fought back against ecological collapse and gave life another chance to bloom. Join us today on Adventure Hidden as we embark on a journey to rediscover humanity's bond with nature, told through real stories of courage, resilience, and love for the earth. And perhaps by the end of this story, you'll find yourself asking, what kind of hero could you become? Part 1. The Man Who Stopped a Desert Story of Yacouba Sawadogo, Burkina Faso. In the arid Sahel region of Burkina Faso, where wind howls through cracked earth and water is more valuable than gold, the desert seemed unstoppable. Droughts, famine, and land degradation were a constant threat, but one man, Yacouba Sawadogo, refused to surrender. A humble farmer, Yacouba turned to ancestral knowledge and revived a nearly forgotten method called zai, a technique where farmers dig small pits in the dry soil to trap water and enrich the earth with organic compost. While others fled their land, Yacouba stayed. He dug, he planted, he waited. People mocked him. They called him mad. They said trees could never grow in dead land. But year after year, green began to return. He turned 40 hectares of barren wasteland into a lush forest, home to over 60 species of trees and medicinal plants. Yacouba's work didn't just heal the land. It fed families, cooled the air, revived lost biodiversity, and empowered neighboring farmers to reclaim their farms. He became a symbol of ecological resistance, proof that traditional knowledge combined with persistence can stop even a desert in its tracks. Part 2. The Teacher Who Created a Rainforest Story of Pamela Collins, Costa Rica. After decades of teaching, Pamela Collins dreamed of retiring in peace and nature. She chose Costa Rica, a country rich in biodiversity. But what she found was a landscape scarred by deforestation and cattle grazing. Most would have walked away. Pamela did the opposite. She bought 50 acres of degraded land where the soil was dry and lifeless. Armed with knowledge, seeds, and a wheelbarrow, she began to plant, one tree, one shrub, one vine at a time. She studied local flora, listened to old farmers, and paid local youth to help restore what once stood. Over 20 years, the land transformed into a thriving secondary rainforest. Sloths returned. Monkeys swung through the canopy. Toucans nested in the branches. Even jaguars made rare appearances. She built trails, installed eco-learning centers, and invited schools and researchers to witness the miracle. Pamela's forest became not just a habitat but a classroom, an inspiration for generations of children who learned that healing the earth is possible, even if it begins with just one determined heart. Part 3. The Women Who Changed Kenya. Wangari Maathai and the Green Belt Movement. In Kenya, environmental degradation was wreaking havoc on communities. Springs dried up, firewood became scarce, and hunger grew. Dr. Wangari Maathai, a biologist and activist, saw how deforestation was not just an ecological issue, but a crisis of justice, health, and dignity. In 1977, she launched the Green Belt Movement with a simple idea: empower women to plant trees. What started as a few women digging holes grew into a nationwide crusade. The movement taught women about native species, sustainable farming, and civic rights. Despite arrests, intimidation, and political threats, Wangari never stopped. Her courage mobilized thousands and inspired millions. More than 51 million trees were planted across Kenya, healing rivers, recharging groundwater, and protecting livelihoods. In 2004, She became the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Her story is not just about trees, it's about the deep roots of resilience, justice, and love for the earth. Part 4. The Children of the Amazon, Brazilian Youth Defending. The rainforest, in the lungs of the planet, the Amazon rainforest, destruction rages daily. But rising amid this crisis are young indigenous leaders like Tainara, only 17, who have become fierce guardians of their ancestral lands. Using GPS technology, drone surveillance, and satellite maps, Tainara and her peers document illegal logging, coordinate patrols, and raise awareness online. They attend UN conferences, speak to the world, and remind global leaders that this is not just a forest, it is their home. These youth are inheriting a world in crisis, yet they respond not with despair, but action. Their bravery in confronting poachers, corrupt officials, and climate denialists is proof that age is no barrier to making a difference. In their voices, we hear the future speaking. Part 5. The monk who built a forest temple. Thailand's tree monks, forest ordination. In the countryside of Thailand, forests were vanishing. Trees were cut for timber, land was cleared for development. But in the midst of this, Buddhist monks found a sacred solution. They began ordaining trees, performing rituals and wrapping trunks in orange robes, the same worn by monks. These trees, now symbolically holy, could not be legally cut down without committing sacrilege. Communities began to protect them, not for profit, but for reverence. The forest temples became sanctuaries of peace, meditation, and biodiversity. One monk, Luang Po Kampeng, led this movement with compassion and wisdom. He taught villagers that protecting nature was not separate from spiritual duty. It was the path. Today, many forests in Thailand survive thanks to this practice. Their story is a reminder. Sometimes the greatest guardians of Earth are those who serve it with prayer, not power. Part 6. The Global Movement. Beyond borders and belief systems, a global army of tree planters, river restorers, and seed savers is rising. The Great Green Wall in Africa aims to stretch across 11 countries, slowing desertification and restoring hope to millions. In India, entire villages now reforest hills every monsoon. In Iceland, glacial valleys bloom again. Organizations like Trees for the Future have trained farmers to grow food forests, sustainable farms that mimic natural ecosystems. In Senegal, this method has revived 41,000 hectares of land, increasing yields and incomes. From city rooftops to remote plains, people everywhere are answering the call. It's not about scale, it's about spirit. These stories show us that when communities unite with vision and patience, regeneration is not only possible, it's inevitable. These are not superheroes. They wear no capes. They don't trend online. But in their quiet way, they have done the impossible. They healed wounds we once thought were permanent. In an age shadowed by climate grief, their stories shine like lanterns. They are not exceptions. They are examples. They show that change is not a fantasy. It is a choice. You don't need permission to begin. You don't need a fortune. You need only the will to start, because the earth is not passively dying. It is being actively destroyed. And those who dare to care, those who plant, protect, and persevere, are already writing a new chapter. This is Adventure Hidden, and this story might just awaken the one waiting inside you.